My girlfriend challenged me in Dreamlight Valley. Today the primary objective is using paths as the main decor. Any other furniture is strictly secondary support. Are these going to be stairways to the dream castle or highways to the Forgotten's home? Paths! When I was presented this idea, I immediately got my brain to work, and in an instant I started to have marvelous ideas. Roads as main decor? Never heard of it. Usually I only care if the road is going to break my car's chassis or twist my ankle. But a challenge is a challenge, and I'm going to prove that coziness can be engineered. So this is the first idea, and I'm a little bit disappointed that I cannot put two different kinds of roads without seams between them. So these seams remain here, or these gaps, or how should I call it. And the first idea was a dwarven road, because here are the mines, and of course they are dwarven mines, what else would they be? And I wanted to go with some sort of dwarf-ish patterns, and I was experimenting with a lot of patterns for an embarrassingly long amount of time, and this was the best one that I could see fit. I wanted to make it so that from the entrance of the sunlit plateau you could just walk through this into the mines. And just to add the hint of a little bit of extra, I added these ancient looking ruined pillars here so that I could pretend that along the road into the mines there were some statues of ancient dwarven heroes or some other monuments, so that the miners could be proudly march into the mines and mine some treasures. And these pillars could give the vibes of a long lost civilization, and nobody knows what happened to them. Keep in mind that this is not a full decoration, I'm just playing around with what sort of road possibilities could I integrate into some sort of design in the future, so I'm not going to leave this one here, not even the upcoming ones, but these are just some ideas to what could I do with roads. And I think if I would decorate this properly, this could look pretty cool as an ancient road, and nothing but the road remains intact after the fall of a long lost civilization, just like in Rome. Okay, the roads are not completely intact, but you can find good quality roads remaining, way better than our roads nowadays. So on to the next one. In this attempt, my nerd self stormed into the tower and said to the crew, assuming control. Can roads be designed the same way as electronics? Probably not, but let's try it anyway. Oh, this happens when your profession grows on you. In this one, I told my inner engineer, you are unleashed. Go, have some fun. So I created a printed circuit board, like this one. The green grass is the solder mask, these are the traces, these are contact pads, and these holes or roundish shaped things are vias which can connect to different layers on the printed circuit board electrically. But let's just not dive into that one right now, because I could go on for hours about it. But what could this be used for? I have two ideas. One, a tiny little park. So without completing it fully, I just placed some round flowers in the middle of the vias and some other flowers and other hedges and plants and everything all around the place. So this is far from being complete. With more bushes, trees, benches or anything, if I would have the time, which I don't have right now, I think I could turn this one into a tiny little cutesy park, hopefully. I think the idea is not bad. I actually like how this turned out. It's funny. That is for me. Probably you are screaming in horror because there is engineering stuff in a cozy game, but it's funny for me. The other idea, which I'm not going to build now because that would take a whole lot of time, is an outdoors disco. So this could be filled up with some sort of dark road or dark path or something like that. And here could be, for example, a big stage or a DJ stand. Here or here could be some benches and some food stands and drink stands and something. something, and people who like electronic music could have fun here, and this could be a very good electronics themed electronic outdoors disco. How cool is that? I don't know, you tell me, because I'm just being an engineer right now. So yeah, I could turn the sunlit plateau into a giant printed circuit board. I'm mad. Bear with me, I have one more idea, but I'm going to skip the speed build for that. So I came to my only unlocked floating island and created another sort of electronics. Here is an IC in the middle with the little solder pads and solder pins, some series resistors, contact pads, filtering capacitor for the VCC. This is the grounding. What's the point of it? Well, I had fun, that's one point, and the other one is the principle, not this design itself as it is now. I could imagine that if I would unlock more floating islands, then I could make it fully electronics themed. So here, not the design itself is important, but the principle, and I think the principle could be used in a different design, which is good. But this was just my inner engineer when completely unleashed. When you walk on it, it's not really impressive, but if you design a whole circuitry, then for example here could be a stand, there some smaller building, there could be someone's home, and these parts could be the connection between those buildings. So yeah, I think this design itself wouldn't, but the principle itself could work. And now to the last part. I'm building something in front of Vanellope's house, a bunch of light colored dots and something yellow. Can you guess what it is? It easily can be put together by now. And now my inner geek went unleashed. I created a basic idea for a time when I'm going to make Vanellope's house decor fully, but this could be a good starting point. Pac-Man! Here are the little dots, what he always eats, and here is Pac-Man. It's pretty hard to make something round-ish shaped with roads, and I figured that this is the size when it looks roundish in many quotation marks. And I couldn't make the full V shape for his mouth because this always has to be here because the game just won't allow me to do V shapes like this with roads. So when I get to the part when I decorate Vanellope's house fully, which probably will be in a dark area because I think this would be a good match for that one, then probably I could make the whole labyrinth with the little ghosts and everything so that Pac-Man could eat the little dots and the ghosts would just roaming around and Pac-Man would eat his way towards Vanellope's house. Game related road for a game related character. It's a very simple idea and a very simple realization just now, but I think it could work in the bigger picture when I'm going to make that one. And it's raining again. You can't imagine how many times I restarted the recording because it was either raining or foggy. But now this is the last part and I think the things that need to be visible are visible right now. Pac-Man eating his way into Vanellope's house. If I will have more resources and more time for a whole decor, then I think this could work. I guess when I will unlock the Forgoterians themed floating island, this would go there. And there could be a whole big Pac-Man labyrinth for Vanellope. And if there will be other game related characters, maybe for them as well. Again, I know this is very simple. This is just a principle what I could use in the future. I didn't shoot for the moon with this one. I just wanted to have a funny light-hearted idea. And now Pac-Man is going to eat me. Hum. And while I'm in his belly, let's see what my girlfriend has made. Ooh, it's big. It's way bigger than mine and I know that this sounds odd. You made a whole square. Yeah, I was thinking about making a square, but I got disturbed by these seams and gaps between the different sorts of path elements, but it's good that you weren't disturbed by these because this looks very cool. This whole setup has such Oasis vibes, probably that was the meaning of it, but I like this one. This is very cool. I should have thought about something bigger than what I did, but I can't change it now. Oh, grabs. I can have grabs from the buffet, which I'm going to rob again. Ka-ching. And now we can have a look at it at broad daylight. It's very hard to say more about paths, but you created a beautiful square. And it's amazing job, congrats. I actually very much love these waterfalls and I know that everything is not a path, it's just secondary right now, but these waterfalls are super, and I would like to use these at some point if I can have. I'm not sure if they are part of the base game or not. But yeah, a beautiful square. Amazing job. At least I can see it from bird perspective now. It's very good. I can just repeat myself. It's very good. I actually couldn't imagine that paths could give so much for a decoration, which is good on its own, but it's better like this. On to the next one. Oh, you decorated the whole area only with paths and with that giant flower, which I really like. This again looks very cool, I like it, and without any other decor elements or objects, I think if I would to use something like this big square decor, I would use it as a forum in front of a big castle or something. So yeah, this idea could really work in a bigger design, or this works like now on its own. Ooh, another little square with giant mushrooms and magic forest vibes. These are the two things that besides the pirates always can buy me, even when it's a little bit too pink for me. I wouldn't care. I would really hang out in this one. I love the shapes what you have made, and I actually started to imagine the whole kingdom or area which it could be attached to in the bigger picture or in a bigger design. I love this one. Well, it turned out that path elements could be bigger parts of a decor than I have ever thought. I wonder how can I apply this knowledge in my upcoming designs. This was a very tough challenge for me, but I already have something up my sleeve for next week's Dreamlight Decor Duel, which comes next Wednesday, but until then, the next story episode drops on Saturday. See you there!